So again, my name is James Frasca. I am a video production specialist, and today's show is going to be all about answering questions that you have sent to us or asked us over the past month or two. The best way to ask us a question is to just call us 800-323-2325. You will most likely speak to me. Next best way to get a hold of us is to send us an email at sales@videoguys.com. You can comment on this very video. You can comment on any of our videos, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube, doesn't really matter. And same thing with Twitter. You can tweet at us and we will respond as quickly as we can. And hey, who knows, maybe one of your questions will get in a video like this. So the first question, what is Atomos Cloud and how does it work with Frame.io? So I'm going to give you a short answer and then I'm going to give you a little bit more of a long answer. So the short answer is Atomos Cloud is a cloud service that allows you to share your proxy files that you recorded on location to anybody in the cloud, whether it's an editor or a producer that needs to be able to see the footage, a director or producer, excuse me, or an editor who can actually take those proxy files and start editing the project. And the great thing about that is that's super time consuming. I come from a background with narrative filmmaking, and when I'm on set, I want to see the clips right away. I want to start editing right away. So that's just something that is a great feature. You know, you won't have to wait until the next day for all of your data to be downloaded and transported properly. Long answer is, how does it work? We're not really sure yet. Nobody is. And that's why Atomos is going to be hosting a webinar on Thursday, this Thursday, August 18th, at 2 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. So I could try and walk you through it, but why not just say, hey, they're going to do it. They're going to do it a heck of a lot better than me. And I will actually be watching that as well. So maybe we'll be in the same watch party. The next question that we get, and we actually fairly recently have been able to make some solutions for this question, is I only use one camera to live stream, but I still want to be able to add graphics. What do you recommend? And as you can see, we have two products on here. Most of the time, you know, people are looking at 3, 4 cameras, maybe even more than that. But these two products really work specifically for one camera. So, like we just mentioned with the Atomos ZATO, which I actually have right here. This is a live streaming device that allows you to hook up one camera via either HDMI or USB, and you can stream directly to Facebook Live, Twitch, YouTube, wherever you want to stream. You can also record to it. And again, I'm just going to throw a little plug back out to that Atomos webinar that's going to be happening on Thursday at 2 p.m. on their Facebook and YouTube, to go on over there, check it out, and you'll get more information on not just the ZATO, but also the Shogun Connect and the Atomos Connect, I believe, is the one that connects directly to the Ninja 5. So definitely a product that you want to check out and a webinar that you want to check out. The other product is the YoloLiv YoloBox Mini. This came out not too long ago. And again, it is a self-contained system that can take one camera and be able to put graphics over it. You can make lower thirds, you can bring in PNGs, you can bring in PowerPoint slides. All of that cool stuff can go right into this device. And literally, as we were making this PowerPoint and trying to answer this question, YoloLiv came out with an update for the YoloBox Mini, which, by the way, all YoloBox products, as long as they're connected to the internet, will automatically update, which is a cool feature. But it came out with an update as we were making this PowerPoint, and it actually is now also a switcher. You can plug in a camera via the HDMI, and now you can also plug in a second camera via the USB and a webcam. So I'm going to show you just a pretty quick demo here about just how easy the YoloBox Mini is to use, and show you that it indeed does have two cameras. So as you can see right here, it's kind of drifted away a little bit, sorry about that. We have a YoloBox Mini. And right now what you can see with these little buttons right here is actually what I see because I have it set to monitor out. So I'm going to kind of walk you through the different settings in the YoloBox Mini, and then I'll show you what the user or the viewer would see at the end of the live stream. So I'm going to switch my camera to this, and we'll bring myself full screen so you don't see two of me. So again, this is what the YoloBox Mini is showing me. I have a webcam right here, and you can also see I have a CX10 plugged in right here. And so that's how I'm able to switch between my two cameras. I have the CX10 pointed at the YoloBox, and I have a webcam here. So if you wanted to know how to get to the to switch between the two cameras, it's going to be this button right here, the button with the two arrows. You just hit that, and up comes your selection between your sources. You can add another source as well, whether it's a picture-in-picture or a video that is uploaded via the SD card. So if you, like I said, you can also upload lower thirds and graphics and things like that. So if you hit this button right here, that kind of looks like some stacked cheese or something, that's your layers menu. And if I click on that, you will see that on the right side pops up all of the different graphics that you can choose from. And if I want to click on my lower third, it'll say, there you go, James Frasca, Video Production Specialist. I'm going to hit that. I'm going to go away again. And like I said, I do want to just show you really quick how easy it is to make or upload a lower third or bug. And specifically, I'm going to make a little bug for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So again, I'm going to go to the layers, and let's see if I can point the right way. I'm going to hit this little red arrow here, this plus, not arrow. And now you can see that there are all of the different graphics that you can make in the YoloBox. So I'm going to click on social media. I'm going to click on this YouTube one. I'm going to fill out my YouTube channel here, which is Videoguys. Look at that. And I want my call to action to be subscribe. And I spelled it wrong, just like I did in our test run earlier. So there we go, subscribe. Now, one thing I do want to point out, though, is if you hit the button that is over here, there's an arrow over here somewhere. If you hit that, you will just back out and it will not save. You need to hit the done. You need to hit the done in the top right arrow over there. That will save it. And now you can see in my layers option, I have that little bug. And there it is. Videoguys, hey, subscribe to us every Tuesday, 3 p.m. So just really quickly, I'm going to show you what your viewers would see if you were actually streaming right now. So I'm going to turn off the monitor mode. So this is just program. So now you're not going to see when I pull up this lower third, except for just seeing the lower third itself, and vice versa if I want to take that down and have the bug come up instead. And same thing if I wanted to switch between my two cameras. You're not going to see the menu. You're only going to see the camera switching. So just wanted to show you those two different perspectives and show you really how easy these the YoloBox Mini is to use. It's a fantastic little device. So let's get out of this and go back to my PowerPoint. So that was a workflow that is very good for vloggers, or maybe you're a news person and you're going out on the field and you only need one camera. But we get asked often, how many cameras do you recommend for a live stream setup? And for sports, corporate, house of worship, education, and government, we're always going to recommend that you start with 3 cameras. You can always take a camera away or add another camera as needed, but we're going to recommend you start with 3. And we're going to talk about a little bit of a workflow or a diagram of our top 3 that we get asked about, which, is going to be sports, corporate, and house of worship. So let's start with sports. And this will work for basically any full court kind of sport, full court sport, basketball, football, volleyball, any kind of full sport court. So you're going to have that camera in the center, which is basically going to be your safety camera, your wide camera, or whatever you want to call it. And you're going to stay fairly wide and follow the motion. So if you're talking basketball, you're going to follow the person with the ball. You're going to follow the ball with that camera, but you're going to stay fairly wide. And then what you're going to do with the two cameras on the ends are when somebody comes up to that goal, you want to get a close-up of the goal, of the person doing the shot. Now, if people are moving fast and you're 20 or 30 feet away, you might not always be able to land that shot with your camera. So that's why you want to always have that backup camera. And you want to have three, because if you're on this end of the court, shooting down this end of the court, you're going to be too far away with this camera. So you want to have another camera on both corners. So next is going to be a corporate situation. This will also work for government as well. The camera all the way to the left, that's going to be pointed at your screen, whether it's a smart board, a chalkboard, or an easel with some charts on it or whatever. You're going to want to make sure that you have a camera that is dedicated to just your presentation itself. Then that camera on the right towards the bottom, that can be used for capturing all of the board members that are in the meeting. Because a lot of these cameras, not a lot of them, all of them are PTZs, and you can point at the bottom row or the top row. And then that camera in the top right is going to shoot across the table, and it's going to get your presenter and the screen. So 3 cameras set up for a corporate / government. Now, for a house of worship, you're going to kind of have a similar setup to a sports application, except within a house of worship, you're going to want to move those cameras back. You don't want to distract or bother the people that are attending the service, so you're going to want to have the cameras behind them. Now, I should note that all of these cameras are very quiet, and they don't make a lot of movement when they pan and tilt, but still, when it's a house of worship, you want to be as respectful as you can. So again, you're going to want to have that camera in the center. That's going to be your wide, your basic shot. Your camera on the left, ideally, if you have the zoom, is actually going to want to go all the way across and shoot your keyboard, and vice versa. Your camera all the way to the right is going to shoot all the way across to the podium, and that will just make it a little bit more aesthetic. Keep your rule of thirds. And if you don't have the throw, say you have a camera that has 10x zoom, it is okay for the camera on the right to be pointed at the keyboard and the camera on the left to be pointed at the podium. That is totally fine as well. But ideally you want to shoot across if you have the zoom capabilities. And since we're speaking about 3 camera bundles that are 3 camera workflows, we had to mention that BirdDog has a crazy deal going on right now with 3 camera bundles. So to start off, we'll start with the P100, which is a great camera. It's a 10x 30, 60 or 30. Don't mind me, I can't remember. I am so sorry. Anyway, it's a great camera. So great that we actually use one in our studio. It's right there. We use that in our studio almost every week. If you wanted to go up to a bigger zoom, 30x zoom, you can get the P200. And I should say, if you get 3 P100s, you get $500 off. If you get 3 P200s, you get a free keyboard so you can control all of your cameras and also set some presets. If you wanted to go to 4K, the P400 has a 20x zoom. And if you buy 3 of them, you get $500 off and a free keyboard. And then if you wanted to get their top of the line studio quality camera, the BirdDog P4K, if you get 3 of them, you get $1,000 off plus the free PTZ keyboard. So while we're talking about 3 camera setups, had to mention the BirdDog cameras. So next question, what's new in NDI 5.5 and should I upgrade? So let's just give a basic overview. NDI Tools is a free software that you can get on your computer. You can have it connected to all of your devices, and it is just something that everybody should have if you're in the NDI world. Basically, with NDI 5.5, the webcam, audio direct, and remote were improved, and router is new. And I'm just going to give this was my very quick overview of NDI 5.5. And I want to actually suggest that you go and check out our video that we did last week, because we had our workflow sales specialist, Glenn Seaman, and Chris Burgos, who is a sales engineer from New Tech, come here to our studio, and they went in very deep into each of the tools. I think there's 7 or 8 of them that are included. They're all free, and they did a very fantastic job of explaining what each tool does in real-world applications. The last thing that I wanted to talk about, and we get asked this all the time, so why not explain it again? Can I bring my own data into a LiveU Solo for cellular bonding? And the short answer again is yes, absolutely you can, but you need to make sure that your modems are compatible with LiveU. Now this chart that we have up full screen right now, we'll leave it there for a second, is on LiveU's site, and this chart goes over all of the modems that LiveU has tested, and as you can see if it works or if it doesn't. And what I want to do is, if you don't see your modem on there, that's totally okay. Definitely reach out to LiveU at support@liveu.tv. They are constantly updating this chart. This was just updated a couple months ago. So if you don't see your modem on there, you can reach out to them, say, hey, do you have plans to? Or maybe you will be the first person to say, hey, can we get this? And who knows, they might start working on it. Just another side note is that with LiveU, the biggest reason that you might want to bring your own data plan is because the modems that come with the unit only work in the United States. So definitely reference this chart if you are not in the United States, because these are the modems that would work with the LiveU. That is pretty much all that I have for today. I hope that this was very informative to you. If you have more questions, definitely give us a call at 800-323-2325. Good chance you'll talk to me. Like I said, you can email us at sales@videoguys.com. Definitely have to give a shout out to Facebook and YouTube, because we're here right now. We'll do Facebook first. You can follow us if you're watching on Facebook right now, or you can subscribe to us on YouTube. Like I said, that's pretty much all that I have for today. I hope you learned something, and I have to do Gary's signature sign off. Peace.
Videoguys is available Monday through Friday. Give us a call at 1-800-323-2325. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram to stay connected with all of our updates. And you can like us on Facebook. Keep an eye out for our live videos, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.